Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim or Cimnanya, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. Actually, this video is very annoying. The fact that colored women don't like they have privilege, but you see them all the time running online, coming online, looking for someone to take a swipe at is really something that I found very disgusting. This spam colored woman actually came out to say that the amount of videos that you see on daily basis, I mean, it's actually pro-Palestine people are actually worse than the Black Lives Matters people were. And I am asking you, how were they worse than BLM? Because people that are being oppressed actually came out to speak up against what is going on in their community, the injustice, the system that has been mounted to disturb them and not to benefit them. They actually came out to speak up against it, and you are saying that they are annoying on a daily basis. Now, let me tell you this. This colored woman do not have to worry about being pulled over by the cars, because for her, she got that privilege. Even her skin color alone is just all that privilege, right? With all her privilege and all that, what has she been able to achieve with it? Now, let me tell you something. This woman would rather, I think she prefers her coffee, the coffee she goes out there to buy, than people like me. Because she would rather go grab coffee than coming out to speak against the injustice going on around the world or affecting me. Let's get into this.
Okay, the amount of annoying videos I see on a daily basis, the pro-Palestine people are actually worse than the BLM people were, which I didn't even know that was possible. Whatever you think you're doing for your cause, you're hurting it a million times more. And if you're so fond of the place, I suggest you leave America and you go there and you fight for that thing that you believe so strongly about. It has no place here anymore. I'm frankly very over it. This is a subject I don't even like and I don't even talk about because I don't agree with a lot of shit on both sides. But these people are like actually the worst. America's so bad on your Wh0 college campus. Your parents paid for the worst. Oh, great for this. This is a kicker. You're not gonna like this one. You know who's not blocking airports? You know who's not blocking you from getting inside a coffee shop? My Jewish friends, because they're all at work making money, because they're smart.
Why do y'all make everything about race? I almost can't even blame her because that's what she was taught to do. Sis walking around here living a lap of fucking luxury, giving opinions on shit that don't got nothing to do with her, while she's sitting on her ass. And people are dying, but it's not her though. I mean, hey, why give a fuck? It's annoying to hear people speak up for other human beings. That's what she's telling us. Isn't that the very epitome of being a good human being? Speaking out when you see things aren't right. Helping thy neighbor. Getting biblical. It's just funny to see people like that speak from privilege. Like, obviously she's living good, and the people she's talking about, they don't have homes. They're probably dead, to be honest with you, up under rubble, still not found, or being targeted. But that's annoying to her. The luxury. This is the finest example of what it is to have privilege in this country, because it comes with the privilege of thinking your opinions are fucking important when they're not. They're cheap, very. And we supposed to, like, as a black woman, stand in solidarity with white women who think like that about another human being. Okay, y'all got us all the way fucked up. You really do. The
pro-Palestine people are actually worse than the BLM people were, which
I haven't even been on here for a while, but obviously that video fucking awakened my, unactive era. But it must be so nice to be a white woman with white privilege to actually be saying that, and to say that you are worse than Black Lives Matter. Obviously, she's very ignorant as fuck. Because literally, a black man literally died from police brutality, and people all over the world were protesting. What do you mean? We literally have freedom of speech. Why? If you believe in something, of course you're going to fight for it. Same with fucking when abortion got banned by the Supreme fucking Court. What do you think people are out doing? The fuck? I don't know. I just think it's interesting how white women who are, I don't even know this creator, I don't really give a fuck, but when you're seeing people die, we're seeing a whole genocide unfold. Like, these people are actually documenting a genocide. They're documenting their own deaths. And you come on this fucking app with your righteousness and say, if you believe in this so bad, go to Gaza. I hope you know, Gaza does not have an airport, so they aren't even letting journalists in. So Riddle me this. Riddle me that. Maybe instead of being righteous, maybe being righteous, like you think you are, maybe go educate yourself on the fucking subject. How about that?
On a daily basis, the pro-Palestine people are actually worse.
I'm gonna try to get this right in one take. Let's see if it works. Maybe, maybe not. If there was ever a case of self-righteous white privilege, this young lady's face would be next to it in the dictionary. The issue is that because she doesn't understand or can't relate, it isn't important. And that is parenting. That is the apple not falling far from the tree. I can't wait to see my daughter become a young woman and obliviate these people verbally and logically. The issue with this is that there is a complete lack of growth and no need for growth. You see that? No need for growth because it doesn't impact you. And that is privilege. But then when you add the layer of race to it, because you are a white woman who has everyone fall to your feet and knees whenever you cry, you don't see outside your box. The audacity for someone in your position who does not have to deal with the issues other people have to deal with, to dictate to them about how annoying their cause is, damn it. Okay, I was gonna say something really foul, but I caught myself, so I'm gonna go back and be a good girl. The issue of you being so self-absorbed because it doesn't relate to you is why we have to have Black Lives Matter. Because people like you will rewrite history. You will document this era, these events, these times in a manner that inflates your power and position of ignorance versus documented in a way that is factual of what's happening. It is irrelevant if I'm pro-Palestine or pro-Israel. It's about a level of self-awareness and education in other people's situation. That is something that my 4-year-old will understand. Because this right here, she is a failure to society. And this mentality is toxic for our future. No bueno.
Palestine people are actually worse than the BLM people were, which I didn't even know that was possible.
So when you say you're tired, how do you think Black and Indigenous people feel? Like, the absolute caucasity, the absolute male marauder, the absolute cloudy with a chance of colonization is this. The fact that you think that Black people fighting against police brutality and systemic racism and Palestinian people fighting genocide and apartheid are bad shows the kind of crustacean one is. All this while on stolen land. When given the chance, the chalk cavalry will always show themselves.
The pro-Palestine people are actually worse than the BLM people were.
If people exercising their right to protest and their right to freedom of speech bothers you this much, maybe you should get out of America because you don't belong here if that's something that bothers you. Go back to where your ancestors came from, okay? Because you don't belong here.
The pro-Palestine people are actually worse than the BLM people were, which I didn't even know.
This is why niggas say shit like, oh, a white girl did it. She was a social justice warrior. Oh, a white girl did it. A white girl did it. This one is actually funny because she is literally playing a role that is 100% completely opposite to the way she thinks. Mystique's whole story in First Class is about her fighting for representation, and yet she's cosplaying as a white girl. A socially woke white girl that be saying quippy mutant pride. You would think, to her mindset and her circumstances, she would be like a nigga, maybe black, maybe like a brown girl, a British brown girl, Asian, Japanese. Something that at least represents how she feels as a mutant in some way. But no, her persona is a white American woman. Is it not concerning that there aren't many roles of like brown and black women saving the world? Like a whole top of the hero line hero, or a nobody turned badass, or a badass continuing to be a badass. On this behalf, I can only speak as a black woman because I know my history. And we were starting revolutions over here in America. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, the men had the strengths, but we had the brains. And then when we needed the strength, we got that too. We were creating tunnels to freedom. So why aren't we creating stories for black women like this? Like, why? Who the fuck do I have to talk to say, hey, if we're gonna play with history, let's just make it the best things that we can imagine. This is why I'm so excited for Ryan Coogler's like Vampire versus the KKK movie. In a collective, I want more movies of like minority women saving the world. But as a personal, I really want more movies of black women saving the world. The women of culture, the things that your ancestors have done, deserve to be glamorized in good ways, if that makes sense. Because in real life, we're literally the people that are risking it all just to exist at ordinary every day, and a handful of them do not give a fuck. So why do they keep glamorizing our accomplishments?
The amount of annoying videos I see on a daily basis, the pro-Palestine people are actually worse than the BLM people were, which I didn't even know that was possible.
Good. I'm glad that you find us annoying, Emily, because that's kind of the thing about being a good person, is that being a good person kind of entails shit people not liking you. So, thanks for confirming that we're doing the right thing here. For those of you who have the pleasure of not knowing, this person's name is Emily. They run an account called Emily Saves America, and I must say that if the task of saving America has been handed over to Emily, then America's fucked. That's like pouring gasoline on a fucking dumpster fire. Anyway, Captain American here has some thoughts about pro-Palestine protesters and their tactics.
If you're so fond of a place, I suggest you leave America and you go there and you fight for that thing that you believe so strongly about. It has no place here anymore. I'm frankly very over it.
I present to you one of the least intelligent arguments of all time, albeit sadly not an uncommon one. I get comments from people all the time saying, if you love Gaza, why don't you go there? Okay, fucking how? Do you want to tell me how exactly I would get to Gaza? I'll give you the hot tip, you pretty much can't. It is basically impossible to get into Gaza. Why is that? Because Israel controls every single thing that goes in and out of Gaza. Part of that whole 17-year-long illegal siege thing they've been doing there. It's one of those annoying things that we've been banging on about, Emily. You fucking idiot. The only way to get into Gaza is if Israel approves your application to do so, which they only do in exceedingly rare circumstances. As for going to Palestine outside of Gaza, i.e. the West Bank or historic Palestine, because it's all Palestine, I'd love to do that as well, but I have a funny feeling that with all the content I've been putting out there, Israel might not let me into the country, because they do that. They stop people who are pro-Palestine, who expose their shit, from entering the country at all. That's not the only reason that these comments from Emily are stupid. She also said there that these protests for Palestine have no place in America, which just goes to show how incredibly little she understands about this subject. Because the only reason that Israel is able to act the way it does with complete impunity is because of the financial and political support that it receives from the United States unconditionally.
Oh, and ready for this. This is a kicker. You're not gonna like this one. You know who's not blocking airports? You know who's not blocking me from getting inside a coffee shop? My Jewish friends, because they're all at work making money, because they're smart.
That's funny, Emily, because my Jewish friends are doing those things. They are taking part in direct action, and they are disrupting the economy. So it kind of just sounds like my friends are cooler than yours. Because remember, Emily, not all Jewish people are Zionists. And there are actually more white evangelical Christian Zionists in the United States than there are Jewish people in the entire world. This isn't a Jewish problem, it's a Zionist problem. And you're just a racist fucking idiot. Anyway, that's all from me, Emily. I hope you have a good rest of your day, complaining about how tough it is these days to be white and privileged, and killing the brain cells of some more unsuspecting victims who happen to have the misfortune of scrolling to one of your videos on their feed.
Pro-Palestine people are actually worse than the BLM people were, which I didn't even know that was possible. I'm frankly very over.
Damn, getting pressed at marginalized groups, creating organizations or movements to literally fight for people who are, well, marginalized is kind of insane. Getting annoyed by that is kind of weird. You got beef with Black Lives Matter telling the world, hey, you guys matter, but we matter too. Or telling people who are supporting the Free Palestine movement to, shut up and dribble because they're tired of seeing the unalivement of small children. That's kind of weird. What is your stance on the KKK? Or those pro-Trump movements back between 2016 and 2020 that was going out here in tiki torches and stuff like that? Were they doing too much or no? Or what about the U.S. government literally overturning Roe v. Wade? You being a woman, a white woman, how do you feel about that? Was that annoying or no? Your name literally says Emily Saves America. You have white privilege. What have you done with your privilege to save America? What have you done? You have the power. You have it at your fingertips. Yet you ain't used it to save America, beloved. And you sitting here talking about marginalized groups protecting themselves and sticking up for themselves. That's kind of crazy.
The pro-Palestine people are actually worse than the BLM people were, which I didn't even know that was.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know posting about, injustice to a certain type of people that isn't white is a fucking problem and it's annoying to you. What's crazy is I know they see what's going on too. I know they see the people being blown up and they think it's right. Not because of anything, not because, they want Israel. It's because they're not white people.
Okay, the amount of annoying videos I see on a daily basis, the pro-Palestine people are actually worse than the BLM people were, which I didn't even know that was possible. Whatever you think you're doing for your cause, you're hurting it a million times more. And if you're so fond of a place, I suggest you leave America and you go there and you fight for that thing that you believe so strongly about. It has no place here anymore. I'm frankly very over it. This is a subject I don't even like and I don't even talk about because I don't agree with a lot of shit on both sides. But these people are actually the worst. America's so bad. On your Wh0 college campus, your parents paid for. The worst. Oh, I'm ready for this. This is a kicker. You're not gonna like this one. You know who's not blocking airports? You know who's not blocking me from getting inside a coffee shop? My Jewish friends, because they're all at work making money. Because they're smart.
Yes, Griffany, because we know that coffee is so much more important to you than lives being lost. It is very on brand for this white woman to say that it is not only an inconvenience, but is also irritating and annoying to have to hear oppressed people speak up about being oppressed. It is so annoying to have to see the reality that exists for people outside the rosy lens of whiteness. How dare people speak out against the violent and heartless genocide of non-white people, majority of whom are children. It is such an awful inconvenience to be reminded about the horrible relationship this country has had with non-white people. Who do we think we are, showing empathy for non-white people suffering at the blood-stained hands of the U.S. government, justified by its white supremacist religion? I can't imagine how irritating it must be as a white woman to see and hear conversations and concerns that do not center her. To be reminded that white people are not the only people that exist or matter. And in case you weren't aware, there have been many Jewish people who have been attending the pro-Palestine marches and protests. Just because someone is Jewish does not make them a Zionist. Just that I'd clear that up. Imagine getting on the internet and saying for everyone to hear that you're annoyed to have to see a genocide happening. The amount of privilege in that statement.
The pro-Palestine people are actually worse than the BLM people were, which I didn't even know that was.
Genuinely, I don't think we've come to terms with the fact that, like, there are so many people that we have to share a society with that are genuinely and ontologically evil. And, like, obviously this, like, entity is, like, a genuine fascist. She literally speaks on Fox News. But there are so many people in this society that think like that person. And it's not just having low empathy, because, like, being low empathy is, like, a medical thing. These people legitimately revel in turning their empathy off. To the extent that not only is she not going to practice empathy, but when she sees someone else practicing empathy, that makes her upset. And so, like, it's banal, but this is the kind of societal evil that has infiltrated America. And, like, I've jokingly said that, like, America needs to be occupied and, like, denazified, but, like, look at what we're dealing with.
Okay, the amount of annoying videos I see on a daily basis, the pro-Palestine people are actually worse than the BLM people were.
Okay, the amount of annoying videos I see of dead babies being blown to smithereens is just so annoying. These pro-Palestinian people are just worse than the BLM people. Can somebody just send a warning before you send all these videos with dead children? I don't need to be seeing that, okay? My dad is a lawyer and he told me that is an infringement upon my ability to enjoy my day. I'm just Emily, how are we gonna ever as a society overcome this below average IQ blonde stereotype when you keep popping off with some shit?
You know who's not blocking airports? You know who's not blocking me from getting inside a coffee shop? My Jewish friends, because they're all at work.
Emily, your Jewish friends are not bombing hospitals, airports, and schools right now, okay? That would be the US government, which is what the students are protesting. I know this is gonna sound absolutely wild to you, but you as an American have a small but not insignificant amount of influence in shaping your government's policies. And the students who you're so inconvenienced by are protesting against a genocide. Thank you, little blonde Hitler. I had to scoop my brain out just to understand this take. Hello, can somebody help please? My arm is stuck.
So this is all I got from this video, and there are some things you see on the internet you are kind of shocked. Some people are not really very smart. They think speaking English or being fluent in English makes them smart and all that, but that is not the case. Really, for somebody to come out and spew something like this is really horrifying. What is wrong with people, especially people that have been oppressed so bad, to probably have a group that will help them speak up for themselves and for other people who are also affected and all that. Now look at how tiny her brain is. She would rather go grab coffee because her Jewish friends would not disturb her or distract her from getting her coffee. So what she's telling me is that a cup of coffee is more important to her than the genocide going on all over the world, like some places, Congo, Sudan, Palestine, and the rest of them. This is really very sad and a very, very kind of a crazy mentality, because I have watched and see some colored people who have the opportunity or who are they have a very good privilege that they can actually come out and speak up in some certain things. What is going on all over the world. It is a great privilege that they have. But when you see them misuse that privilege, is just something that really sucks. So with everything that has happened, I mean, she is more concerned that, she thought BLM, like Black Lives Matters, were the worst, but now she found out, like, that it is now Palestine this thing. Man, just make this make sense. Make this make sense. Okay, now I am gonna ask her, like she said, her Jewish friends are all out there making money, trying to be useful. I know Black people are not being useful because they are out there speaking up against, speaking against the injustice going on all over the world and standing for the oppressed, and at the same time speaking up for themselves. If only she, how did Black Lives Matters? I mean, you all, how did Black Lives Matter start? You all already know that. I don't need to start breaking this for you and all of that. For her, she is well sure that her life matters. Her life is secured. Everything about her life is intact. She does not have to worry about what is going on in her life, or if she's gonna get oppressed and all that. But do people like me have that opportunity? People that look like me or other people of color do not have that opportunity. Sometimes when we look at, you all remember the video that I did where they were asking, would you choose a pan-colored woman or a pan-colored man at work? Everybody chose pan-colored man. You all already know how messed up most of them could be. Very, very messed up. Very, how do they call it? Selfish mindset. Very selfish mentality. Because if you deem me important, or if you deem me as human, if you see me as human, you definitely will want to speak up against the injustice going on probably around me and all that. And like you said, that most of your Jewish friends will because they are making money and out there, I want you to know that there are also other Jewish out there fighting for other people. And I want you to know that not all Jewish are Zionists. Take this home. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.